Beam City Sports back at you again here in Sacramento, California, 96.5 FM. Tyler Texeira and Luke Mitchell coming to you on another Wednesday. How you feeling, Luke?
I'm feeling good. How we doing, Sacramento? We cooling off in Sacramento, but we still hot in the studio. Feeling good. Looking forward to ELO tonight at a Golden One Center. Gonna be lighting it up. Hopefully the Kings will be lighting it up tomorrow night. It's gonna be an exciting game.
Yeah, really hyped for the NBA season to start for the Sacramento Kings. You know, last night we saw 2 games in the NBA, so very happy to have some basketball back. And we will also get into the World Series preview coming on Friday. We have the Yankees and the Dodgers. So excited for that one as well.
Probably gonna be like the most watched championship game in all sports, I think, this year.
Yeah,
That whole competition right there is gonna be exactly what the MLB wanted.
Yeah, those baseball ratings are definitely going to be on the rise for this World Series, and we're hyped to see it. But we have a lot to get into today, especially on the NBA side. We saw 2 games last night. We saw the Knicks and the Celtics play in Boston. That one was kind of a blowout. The Celtics came ready to play on their ring ceremony night.
Same championship team that was there last year. They're looking like this. I mean, the whole chemistry even looks at 110%. It's up there.
Yeah,
But,
they look locked in.
Yeah.
They're ready to play, and they look like they're on a revenge tour after a weird offseason for them.
Yep.
Tatum and Brown getting a lot of hate in the offseason, even after winning the championship. So
Yeah.
they got a lot to prove, and they're ready to do it.
And then even without Kristaps Porzingis, they're dominating like that, which is just scary.
Yeah, and we also saw the Timberwolves in LA to play the Los Angeles Lakers last night. Lakers came away with the win. Shout out to JJ Redick, his first ever win as an NBA head coach. Love to see that.
Very impressive. He's kind of getting that team to go a lot faster. That's what I noticed. They're quick.
Yeah.
They were playing a lot slower under Darvin Ham, but this is quick.
Yeah, they're ready to move the ball offensively as well, and they looked like a well-oiled machine last night against Minnesota, who the Kings will play tomorrow night.
Yep.
So we'll see that tomorrow in Golden One Center. But let's stay on the Knicks and the Celtics. The Celtics came away with the win, 132-109. They tied the NBA record for three-pointers made in a game with 29.
That's pretty insane. And then also most in a row, I believe.
Yeah.
I think it was like 19 threes in a row at some point. But then they turned around and then missed, I think, 12 straight or 13 straight after that. And then they still won by more than 132-109, which is nuts.
Yeah, Celtics came ready from the jump last night. They were up by 20 at the end of the first quarter. It was already over at the end of the first. Something I noticed the first play of the game, they won the jump ball. Jason Tatum gets the ball, comes off a screen, pops a three, nothing but net. That's a bad start for the Knicks right there. Celtics looked like they were on a mission last night.
Yeah. Who was it? Josh Hart who said the NBA needs to drug test that team because he ain't seen nothing like that before.
Yeah, they were shooting the lights out from three, especially in that first half. Tatum came in the first quarter with 15 points, shooting a ton of threes off the dribble, off screens. He looked so confident out there. And also with Jason Tatum, I feel like he looked more locked in than I've ever seen him. Even in the playoffs last year,
Definitely.
Tatum always gives that, kind of nice guy vibe, like not a real killer, and that's what a lot of people have put on his name.
Yep.
Last night, I didn't see a smile from him, even after have 15 points in the first quarter and having so many threes back to back, and he looked like determined out there. Like he had that Mamba mentality last night.
It's a new version of Tatum. Maybe after him not doing so hot with USA basketball, he's coming into the NBA and he's just showing he's still the same player that he was last year. Because, I mean, a lot of people were questioning. It's just like, Tatum's struggling in the U.S. He's not shooting good. He's not shooting. But, I mean, he's a different player now. I mean, not even now. He's the same MVP caliber player he was last year.
Yeah, Tatum's on a mission this year. But the rest of the starters for the Celtics, they arguably have the best starting five in all of basketball.
Yeah.
We saw Drew Holiday last night with 18 points, shot 7 for 9 from the field and 4 for 6 from 3. Just so efficient for Drew Holiday, and obviously he's great on the defensive end as well.
That's why he was my top 10 point guard in the league when I rated him. He was up there.
Yeah, and everyone on the Celtics was shooting the lights out. We saw Derek White come away with 24 points, 6 of 10 from 3. Also, Jaylen Brown, who was, deferring a little bit to Jason Tatum, with Tatum having the hot hand, he still finished with 23 points, 5 of 9 from 3. So those first three guys in the Celtics starting lineup all shooting the lights out.
Whole team was looking like prime Curry.
Yeah.
Just every shot they threw up, it was just like, oh, quick. And they put their arms down and started running back.
Yeah.
It was quick.
Yeah. Also, Tatum finished with 37 points, looking like an MVP last night.
Yeah.
Also, 10 assists from Jason Tatum. Really, really running that offense well. Joe Mazzulla wants the ball in his hands, and it worked out well for them last night.
Definitely.
He also shot 14 of 18 from the field and 8 for 11 from 3 for Tatum.
14 of 18 from the field is nuts.
Yeah.
That's insane. I mean, a lot of people be shooting like 23
Yeah.
shots a game, but they're only making 8, maybe 9 shots. But then 18 shots, 14 makes, like that's insane efficiency.
That is a crazy percentage from Tatum last night. And if he keeps this up, he might be the favorite to win MVP.
Oh, yeah. I mean, first game, so.
Yeah, first game, overreactions a little bit. But, also in the Celtics starting lineup, they started Al Horford at the 5. We know Kristaps Porzingis is still hurt. It didn't matter. Al Horford played very well last night, had 11 points. Also 3 for 5 from 3. So everyone in that starting lineup for the Celtics hit 3 or more threes on great efficiency.
Yeah, no, it's insane to see big men like that just popping. And then like Al Horford's he's an old guy in the league. So obviously early in his career he was more of a down low kind of guy, backing down and making space. But then he's got to rely on a new form of basketball to try and find a new way to score, and he's hitting these threes.
Yeah,
so
he's really changed his game getting up there in age. Like you said, he used to be that back down presence, but now he's stretching the floor. He's being in the right place at the right time. And Al Horford is a great vet. And I think the Celtics are, blessed to have him with Kristaps being hurt. He fits into that starting lineup so well for them.
Definitely. And then also so Derek White was just named top 50th player in the league.
Yeah.
A lot of people were speculating him kind of not being a top 50.
Yeah.
But if he keeps it up like this, 23 points, just on fire last night, I see him even being better than top 50.
Yeah, last year he did get a little all-star, talk. He didn't make it, but I could definitely see that again this year. Derek White is one of the best role players ever in the NBA. He fits, the Celtics scheme perfectly. He doesn't hesitate when he gets the ball on the perimeter. He's going to get that thing up.
Yeah.
And last night he went 6 of 10 from 3, so obviously it's working out for him.
Oh, yeah.
But going to the Knicks side a little bit, we saw Jalen Brunson come away with 22 points. He also shot very well from the field. The Knicks did not miss a lot of shots. It was really a weird game. The Knicks were shooting about 60% from the field, and look up, and they're down by 25 points.
Yeah. No, it was just that slow start for them.
Yeah.
The Celtics came out hot, hit every single three pretty much in the first quarter, damn near. But they just, 60% shooting, that's pretty insane, and then down by that much. You need to come out swinging. You need to make those early baskets, and then also they were kind of getting killed by not a lot, but the offensive rebounds was kind of off. Like they weren't really kind of getting aggressive with it.
Yeah. Also for the Celtics, the differentiator in this game was the turnovers and the 3-pointers made for each team. The Celtics tied the NBA record for 3-pointers in a game. The Knicks did not hit a lot of threes, even though they were shooting 60% from the field. The twos just couldn't match the threes.
Yeah.
And then when they're turning the ball over, letting the Celtics get out in transition, that's when they look up and they're down 25.
Yep. Quick baskets, those quick turnovers, you don't know. It's a blink of an eye, and it's quick.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we also saw big storyline of last night for the Knicks was Mikal Bridges. He did finish with 16 points, 7 for 13 from the field, 2 of 7 from 3. So the stats don't look that bad for Mikal. But it was a rough night.
Came a little too late for him because he got hot in the third quarter, like beginning of the fourth quarter. That's when he started sinking all his turnaround jumpers.
It was already garbage time.
They were already down by 30.
Yeah.
So they didn't really have a chance. They already had their garbage players in. So, he needs to – his new shot definitely is throwing him off.
Yeah.
He's kind of a little wonky, cattywampus, but I think he'll get a little bit more going, obviously knocking off the rust with the new team. But I think I see him coming back.
Yeah, I hope so. I love Mikal Bridges as a player, but like you said, that jump shot just is not looking promising. He came into the league with a very good-looking jump shot, and I don't know what happened over the summer, but it looks completely different. Has a big hitch at it in the top of his jumper. He looks like he's playing 2K with the hotel Wi-Fi. It looks like that's what his shot is. He's playing on that hotel Wi-Fi. He's got that laggy jump shot. It's not fluid. He started 0 for 5 from the field, and that really hindered the Knicks offense. They were just leaving him open,
Yeah.
double teaming Brunson on those pick and rolls and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they even tried to get him going before he hit a jump shot. They put him at the free throw line for a technical foul free throw. He missed that too. And you could tell his confidence was just at an all-time low. Even when he wasn't shooting the ball, he's turning it over. And he's also known as a very well defender. Didn't look like it yesterday. He was getting cooked yesterday.
Yeah. Jason had a couple of turnaround jumpers that got him stumbling to the key. I was like, oh, damn.
Yeah,
that didn't look good.
Tatum had this shimmy post fade that the announcers were saying looked like Jordan-esque. It did. And Mikal was stumbling over, like you said. It was pretty nasty. But then, like you said, in that third quarter, Mikal finally got it going. Hit a catch-and-shoot three. You could tell that even though the Celtics were down at least 25 at that point, you could tell it kind of lifted something off his shoulders. And then he hit 3 shots in a row after that, get a layup, get a little mid-range jumper. Now I hope he starts to feel a little better about his offensive game.
Yeah. New team, knocking out the rest, new season. It's our overreactions of this start. He'll be back.
Yeah.
He'll be back.
Yeah. Also, in the Knicks starting lineup, OG Anunoby, who's getting paid an absolute bag from the New York Knicks. He only finished with 4 points, 1 of 7 from the field, 0 for 4 from 3 for OG. And the Knicks need a lot more if they want to be real contenders.
A lot more. Yeah, for sure. He did have a good defensive presence, I feel like, last night.
Yeah.
But still didn't make up for it on the offensive side. 0 for 4 3-point. That's tough, like especially against a team that's just shooting lights out the whole time.
Yeah,
you gotta find another way to score a basket. If you're that's not a good look right now.
Yeah.
Luckily the bench is pretty deep for New York, so obviously people on the bench came in and made up for it, but not enough.
Yeah, in the starting lineup, the last 2 guys for the Knicks, we saw Josh Hart. He finished with 12 points. Most of those were on little backdoor cuts, offensive rebounds. He was 0 for 2 from 3, and he's been saying he does not know where he fits in with his team. He does not feel comfortable out there. And he was a huge part of that Knicks team last year that made that playoff run.
Yeah. It's a little tough. I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed on it because I'm a big buyer of this Knicks team.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be a lot closer just going into the season. And the Celtics they're looking like they're going to be running away with it at the end of the season.
It does look like that. And a lot of people Reggie Miller said before the game started that he believes this Knicks team is the second best team in basketball behind the Celtics. And if that's the difference between the best team and the second best team in the NBA, then this season's already over. The Celtics are the NBA champs back to back if that's the case.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't believe that. I think there's better teams out there than the Knicks that can match up better with the Celtics. And they were just on a heater last night. Like, I don't think any team in the NBA would have beat the Celtics last night.
Going in on a ring night for sure.
Yeah.
Like the ring night as well adds a whole new aspect to it with they're playing with a new banner up there. Their 18th banner, I think it was.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they had all the confidence behind it.
Yeah. Also, last guy in the starting lineup for the Knicks, we saw Karl Anthony Towns in his first game as a New York Knick. He only finished with 12 points. He did shoot 5 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3. I think he needed to demand the ball a little more.
Mm-hmm.
He had Drew Holiday on him most of the game, and we know Drew Holiday is a great defender, but Karl Anthony Towns is 7 feet tall.
That's a big mismatch.
Yeah.
Huge mismatch.
And when they eventually got the ball to Towns in the post, it worked. He hit a couple left-hand hooks over Holiday. His post work is very nice down low, but only shooting 9 shots for Karl Anthony Towns, they need a lot more out of him.
For sure. I mean, and then I don't want to jump to the other game, but you could just see it in both the teams. It was just like having him in that, it definitely had a big effect on both teams.
It really did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a whole new aspect that they're going to have to work on this whole season.
Yeah, both teams, Minnesota and New York, did not look comfortable with their new teams last night.
No, not at all.
So it's going to take some gelling period for them, both teams, but we both expect them to make runs and make the playoffs.
For sure.
And be dominant teams.
They're still going to be both top 5 teams.
Yeah.
Definitely.
For sure. Some guys off the bench. I know your guy for the New York Knicks, Miles or Deuce McBride, had a huge game off the bench.
Huge game.
22 points for the Knicks, 8 of 10 from the field, 4 of 5 from 3, and he just couldn't miss out there.
His moves out on the 3-point line had everybody kind of dancing around, and then he has a quick jumper. He gets that up quick.
Mm-hmm. He hit a 4-point play
Yeah,
as
the
well.
4-point right at,
And,
yep.
he had Drew Holiday on him most of the time when he was in, and
You figured
it
him out.
didn't matter.
You
Yeah.
figured him out.
And Drew Holiday's known as the best perimeter defender in all of the NBA. And Miles McBride is that guy.
He had him reaching a lot of the
Yeah.
time. It was a whole lot of jumping up, but not getting his hand up quick enough.
Yeah, for sure. Well, last thing I take away from this game, I thought that the Celtics' problem this year would be, having Porzingis hurt and being, pretty slim at that big man position. But I was very impressed with their backup bigs last night coming in for Horford. Luke Cornett and Xavier Tillman, they both played around 20 minutes last night. They both looked very good on the offensive glass, moving the ball. I don't think the Celtics have one weakness on this team right now.
No.
Yeah.
No. I mean, that's why we had him at number 1 for both of our predictions.
Yeah.
It's scary when a team can put a whole squad like this deep in the bench. It's you wonder just how long is it going to last?
Yeah.
And if someone's going to be like asking for a little bit more, saying they're better than the other team,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll move on to the second game last night, primetime game. The Timberwolves at the Lakers. Final score of this one was 110-103. The Lakers came away with the win.
A bit more of an exciting game.
That was a very exciting game, yeah. But, yeah, some guys that, showed out last night. We saw Anthony Davis with a huge game.
MVP last night for sure.
MVP-level performance, 36 points, 16 rebounds, 3 blocks, also hit a 3. His jump shot looks better than it has since he was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
He's been struggling with that over the last few years. So, excited to see AD with that jumper looking smooth.
Yeah. No. First things first. I do not like how good they were looking.
Yeah.
It was scary, especially with LeBron still jumping up at 40 years old like that, or 39.
Yeah.
Turning 40. It's scary. But it is exciting too. I'm excited for the rivalry between the Kings and Lakers.
Yeah.
Their game on Saturday.
In LA.
Yeah. So beat LA for that. And then first thing I want to say about the Timberwolves, Julius Randle, kind of just, I don't know, not really. I didn't really like him with this team at all.
It doesn't look like a good fit in the first game.
Very uncomfortable.
He had a decent night in the box score. 16 points, 9 rebounds, 5 of 10 from the field.
Not bad.
He just didn't look like a good fit out there, though.
No, not at all. It was a terrible trade. That was a terrible trade by Minnesota.
For both teams?
No, for Minnesota. Yeah. New York, I feel like they'll be fine later in the season, but Minnesota, I don't think this team is going to gel at all.
Yeah.
With Anthony Edwards right there, and then Gobert being he's going to want the ball a lot too.
Yeah.
So, but
I hope they don't figure it out tomorrow, though. I hope Minnesota can, still looks a little weird out there with the fit. I hope tomorrow the Kings don't make them look like, a good team already.
I think the Kings drop 130 tomorrow.
Yeah?
130
I hope
points.
so, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we saw LeBron. I was very impressed with the Lakers offense. JJ Redick looks like one hell of a coach already. LeBron only had to have 16 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists. He kind of looked like he was coasting out there a little bit, moving the ball. Their offense looked like it was like not a one-man show, and that was something I was very impressed with.
He was relying on a lot of other people to score, and
Yeah.
his passing was obviously looking immaculate. He's one of the best passers in the league.
Mhm.
And no, the speed that they're playing at, it reminds me of the Kings, just how fast-paced it's going up and down the court, up and down. Their defense, they did get some, they got a lot of great stops. Anthony Davis coming up big with those
Huge
big blocks,
Yeah.
keeping the momentum on their side. They're looking good on defense, but there are I see some hitches with the young guys kind of slow on rotations and everything. But I think JJ is going to fix that immediately. He knows how to. He just retired from the league how many years ago?
Probably like 3.
3 years ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
I feel like the best coaches are player coaches that come in fresh like this.
Yeah.
And then there was an interview with him
Yeah.
where he got a rebound, like a long rebound, in a timeout, and he picked up the ball and he's just like, "Why the hell are we playing with a fresh ball? Like, we need to play with worked in balls."
Ooh, yeah.
So he's gonna put in a request to the.
Sorry. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying though, and I also saw another part of the game where Anthony Edwards was talking to the refs. He was like, "Man, how did I travel? That was not a travel." And then JJ Redick was saying something to Anthony Edwards and like talking back to him a little, like he was still a player on the court. Like you usually don't see coaches like talking smack to the other players, but JJ was doing it, and it kind of made Anthony Edwards chuckle. It made him laugh a little bit. It was kind of friendly, but JJ wants to win, and I love that out of him.
JJ wants to win. Yeah, no. JJ wants to win.
Yeah. But also, I was very impressed with the way that JJ said this offense was going to run. He said that before the year started, he doesn't want LeBron handling the ball 100% of the time, just pick and rolls with Anthony Davis over and over again. He wants to get LeBron more involved, like off the ball, screening, moving off the ball, playing like a real offensive team and not just a one-dimensional team. And I definitely noticed that last night.
Yeah.
The Lakers were moving it, like you said. LeBron was getting off the ball, setting great screens, getting it to the middle of the floor, then finding AD on that roll. It was beautiful to watch.
One person that I kind of wanted to bring up to my most improved list after watching last night is Rui Hachimura.
Yeah,
Rui
balled.
was going. He was going off.
Yeah,
and he's looking like a young LeBron a little bit when he's attacking the rim.
He had 2 posters last night.
Posters,
yeah, it was like the first play of the game.
Those were the plays that I was just like, that looked like LeBron with his little tomahawk slams and everything.
Yeah, Rui's coming to play. Yeah.
So, I mean, maybe if he keeps it up like that, I mean, obviously that LeBron look was just like by the dunks. But if he keeps it up like that, he's running well. Like, JJ's definitely using him right.
Yeah.
So that was good to see for sure.
Yeah, I agree. JJ's definitely putting Rui in the right spots. He's a great catch and shoot guy. Also can create a little bit off the dribble. So, yeah, I think he's going to have a good year. But Anthony Edwards had 27 last night. He looked pretty good out there. Nobody on the Lakers could really guard him.
No.
But it didn't really matter. That was really the only offense Minnesota could get was if Anthony Edwards was ISOing and creating it on his own. Off the bench, Dante DiVincenzo had 10 points. He only shot 3 of 11 from the field. So kind of a down night for Dante, but he's going to get those shots up. I still think Dante is one of the best shooters in the league.
Yeah, for sure.
I just noticed after every timeout, dead ball, he just always gets those shots up, like before they go to commercial and you see Dante or someone like Buddy Hield always does that too. Like he always wants the ball after the whistle blows and he's going to get his shots up.
He's going to shoot.
And I feel like they make it every time.
Yeah.
Like Dante, I saw him do it 3 times last night. Nothing but net from wherever he was. Even though he struggled when the game was actually going, I still think he has an absolute burner from the 3-point line.
For sure. And then also his vision on the court is amazing. When seeing his passing, he knows where everybody is. Gets the ball quick to those open passes.
Yeah.
Obviously, Minnesota had a bit of a turnover issue last night.
Yeah.
But when he did get the passes to the right place, it was like LA didn't know how to get down low at the right time.
Yeah. Another guy off the bench for Minnesota, Naz Reid. I'm not a Naz Reid hater. I love Naz Reid's game, but every time I see him have kind of an off game, I'm just like, man, Malik should have won that award last year. It's not even close.
No.
Naz Reid only had 12 points off the bench, 3 of 8, didn't really make that much of an impact.
No.
I think Malik Monk is just levels above him off the bench, and some people are still picking Naz Reid to win 6-man again this year, and I'm just like,
not gonna
there's
happen.
no way.
Not going to happen.
There's no way. But off the bench for Minnesota, Nickeil Alexander-Walker.
That's
cousin.
what I was going to talk about him.
That's Shay's cousin.
Really?
Yeah, that's Shay's cousin.
Oh.
Yeah, Alexander Walker. So he had 14 off the bench, 3 of 4 from 3. Very good night for him.
Yeah, no, I was a big fan of him. He was looking hot in the corner.
Mm-hmm.
No.
And he plays good defense as well.
Plays good defense,
He's a very solid player.
Yeah, he helped out with Jaden McDaniels didn't play too hot, so he kind of came in for him and kind of took up a step.
Yeah.
But I see him being another breakout player for Minnesota.
Yeah, I agree. Some guys off the bench for the Lakers, Max Christie, 2 points, 0 of 3 from the field. He was the first guy off the bench for the Lakers along with Gabe Vincent. Both those guys finished with 2 points. And I know Lakers fans do not like either one of these guys. Like, they do not want to see them on the floor, and I completely agree. I do not think either one of them is making a positive impact out there, and I don't think it will take long for JJ to realize that.
No, yeah. Gabe Vincent, I think that was a waste of a contract when they picked him up. He was on
Miami.
He was on Miami
in the finals run.
Yeah, in the playoff. Yeah. And I think he was just one of those players that kind of had the
right place, right time.
Right place, right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. But the guy off the bench for the Lakers that really stood out was Jackson Hayes.
Jackson Hayes was looking good.
Yeah, and JJ was playing him along with Anthony Davis, so AD likes to play that 4. They played big man basketball, and that's really how the Lakers won their championship in 2020.
Their quick passes down low, just back and forth, was looking good.
But that's how the Lakers won their championship in 2020. It was with offensive rebounding and good defense, and that's definitely something the Lakers did last night.
That's what killed Minnesota was offensive rebounding. It was so bad, just like every ball just bounced straight.
You know who was on the Oak Glass was Austin Reeves.
Yeah, Austin Reeves. He was 4 offensive rebounds, I think.
7 total rebounds.
7 total.
Yeah. So great night for AR. Also,
Some
love
good
to
and
see.
ones too.
Yeah,
He had
that
a
was pretty
couple of-
sick.
yeah.
That and one on Ant was
Yep.
yeah. But Dalton Connect looked very good out there. He only played 16 minutes, but I think he's gonna have a big year.
His first shot was a 3
Yeah.
off the bat.
And then he had that like up
It
and
was
under
up and under
layup.
layup. Yeah, it was clean.
Oh, yeah, and people are saying he's the second best on this Lakers team at attacking the basket behind LeBron James, like off the dribble. Not
Okay.
obviously not like Anthony
I was
Davis
like,
and
what?
stuff, but like a guard perspective, like getting
Yeah.
to the rim.
Yeah.
They say he's going to create a lot of open looks for guys.
I'll have to see a bit more than one game.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
I've seen young tapes, like, just when he was training, but
Yeah.
I need to see it in the NBA. It's a different game.
We have to mention Bronny and LeBron,
Yeah.
father and son duo.
It's pretty cool to see him check in with
Second
each other.
time in sports we've seen it. Ken Griffey and Ken Griffey Jr. The only other time to do it.
They were both there.
They were at the game. They all took a picture together, so that was pretty awesome to see. Bronny only played about 2 minutes, and the Timberwolves went on a 7-0 run when he was in. His first play in, Julius Randle
attacked
backed him down
immediately.
and obviously went right over him.
Yeah.
He did get an open look from 3. LeBron passed it to him on the three-point line. The crowd went crazy
That
off
would have
that
been
pass.
pretty insane.
Well, even off the pass, like LeBron even just like handed it off to him, and the crowd was like, "Oh!" It was. I mean, It was pretty dope. It was pretty dope. But Bronny missed the 3, of course. Sad to see. But
Yeah.
I hope he doesn't go to the G League, man. I really want Bronny to get more tick in the NBA.
I don't see him.
It's probably
staying.
not gonna
It's
happen.
not going to happen.
They probably want to just get that first game out of the way, and
They
now,
might play him for one more game, try and get him his first point with his dad.
true.
But I don't see him being in, because it's a roster spot right there
Yeah.
for a player who could really help a team that needs it.
Yeah, I'm kind of mad at JJ. I wish they drew up a play. Like, you would think they would draw up a play to, like, have Bronny get the ball up top and then LeBron back screen and throw him a lob or something. At least try it.
I don't know. I think
too
JJ
predictable.
I think JJ checked him in and
Yeah.
was just like,
Go play hard.
go play your son.
No
Go-
pressure.
Go, like, it's the last 2
Yeah.
minutes of the half.
Yeah.
Like, go play with your son.
But it was a quick 7-0 run, and then JJ called timeout and got him right out.
Yeah.
He said before the half even ended, he's like, "All right, you gotta get out."
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think he did anything that bad though. But
His defense didn't. I don't know. His
yeah.
defense wasn't.
Oh, we
so
have to
bad.
mention Rob Dillingham did not play a single minute for
Oh.
Minnesota.
Yeah.
That was not something I expected.
Kind of insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a horrible move by the Timberwolves head coach.
Definitely.
But yeah, we'll be back with some baseball talk, World Series preview, Beam City Sports.
Quick half.
Yeah, 96.5. We are back. Beam City Sports on 96.5 FM. Tyler Texeira and Luke Mitchell. If you're listening on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. Much appreciated.
Like, share, comment, subscribe, all the stuff,
Yep.
please.
And if you're listening on the radio, we appreciate you again once a week here on 96.5 FM for all your sports updates and news. But yeah, we have a lot to get into on the second half of this show. MLB World Series coming on Friday. We got the Yankees at the Dodgers. What a matchup, man. What
Very
a matchup.
exciting. I would have liked the Subway Series a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that instead of whatever this is called.
But this is definitely the best two teams in all of baseball.
Yes, definitely.
This is the 11th time these teams have played in the World Series against each other. Last time was in 1981, though. So it's been a long time since they played.
And then also, that was the last one with, I can't believe I forgot his name.
1981.
With the pitcher who just passed away.
Koufax.
No.
Oh.
Just literally the other day. Dodgers pitcher, but
Well,
rest in peace to him. But yeah, 1981, pretty insane.
pretty insane. At first when this matchup happened, I was watching the Dodgers clinch against the Mets in their Game 6 matchup. And when the Dodgers clinched, I was pretty upset.
Fernando Valenzuela.
Yeah, Valenzuela.
Had to put some respect
That's
on
what
his
it was.
name.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. But yeah, so when this happened, the Dodgers clinched against the Mets. I was pretty upset. I was like, man, it's really Yankees, Dodgers. It's the two highest paid teams in the league. You know, me and you were always rooting for the underdog teams.
Yeah.
But then
you think about it.
I have to give my girlfriend a shout out. She told me because she watched it with me and she was like, because I was like, yeah, it's just the two top teams, like the two highest paid, and she was like, well, why are you mad about that? Isn't that what you want? Like, isn't that like the most exciting? The two best teams going at it, and I was like, you know what? You're right.
It
like,
is pretty true.
yeah, that is very true. And now I'm like super excited for this series to start.
Like I said, this is gonna be the most watched sports championship series in all of sports.
Yeah.
This in the next few years, I bet.
Yeah. But we got to make our picks, man. We got to make our picks, our predictions. It's really tough.
Pretty tough.
I am gonna go. My prediction. I'm gonna go New York.
Hang on.
Oh,
the game, what game
Yeah,
are they going to finish?
That's what I was going to say, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Yankees win it in 6.
Yankees in 6?
Yankees in 6. They're going to close it out in Dodger Stadium in Game 6.
I think this goes to Game 7.
Yeah, I hope, man. That would be awesome.
With both of these teams, with how they're playing going into this, I think they're going to go to Game 7.
Don't know who you're picking?
I don't know who I'm picking.
I went back and forth definitely a lot.
I think the Yankees are going to close it out.
Yeah.
Yankees are going to win it, and I'm going to be very annoyed.
Yeah.
But then
if the Dodgers win, you'd also be
I'd also be very annoyed.
But it's going to be super fun to see the two top stars in the MLB going at it. We see Shohei Ohtani and Aaron Judge going at it, and they both have great supporting casts as well.
Definitely.
So it's going to be a crazy series.
With Giancarlo starting to heat up a little bit more.
Juan
Soto's already been hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Tommy Edman on the Dodgers.
Edman, yeah, no. There's going to be a lot. And then Teoscar Hernandez, he's heating up too.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good matchup.
It is.
Going to be a great matchup.
Definitely excited to see. I'm still not sure who's pitching in Game 1 of the series.
Garrett Cole is pitching for the Yankees. Yeah, I saw that.
That makes sense. Dodgers might even roll with the bullpen. Or because that's been their best games when they go bullpen. Or
I
Yamamoto.
Think Flaherty might just start.
Yeah, he's been up and down.
He's been up and down. It's a new series, new team. I think he might come in hot, and I think they might start him.
Yeah, I could see that. I could definitely see that. Well, we missed a lot. Well, we've seen a lot of action over the last week with the playoffs. You know, we saw the Dodgers and the Mets and the Yankees and the Guardians. Got to put some respect on those series.
Hang on. I actually guessed it right. 21 hours ago, Roberts names Flaherty Dodgers Game 1 starter.
Yeah, good call. Good call there. So, yeah, in the last game or the last week last Wednesday, we saw the Dodgers and the Mets in Game 3. Dodgers ran away with that one 8-0. That was Walker Buehler's game. He pitched very well. And Ohtani hit a 3-run homer. Kike Hernandez hit a 2-run homer. And the Dodgers just ran away with that one 8-0. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, the Mets, I wish they were a bit stronger in that series.
Yeah.
I like that Mets team a lot. Francisco's passion was...
They fought.
They
fought for sure. Also, last Thursday, Game 3 of the Yankees-Guardians. This was a crazy game. We saw...
Back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. The Guardians won this one 7-5. Emmanuel Clase for the Guardians, who my dad, I was watching with him, he started calling him Class B because, Emmanuel Clase... And he was the best closer in baseball. He said, man, they should call him Class B because he gave it up, of course, to Aaron Judge, hit a 2-run homer to tie it up. And then Stanton right after him hit a homer.
Yep.
Class A just looked like he lost all his confidence out there, and the Yankees capitalized on it. But this game, the Guardians actually won. We saw a pinch hitter, Noel, the big guy for the Guardians, hit a monster home run to tie it up, to send it into extras. His nickname is Big Christmas. Got to shout out him.
You love seeing that for a pinch hitter, just like coming in to do one job.
Yeah, and he did it.
I said that last week, I feel like. It's so awesome.
Yeah, and then we saw David Fry, who was clutch for the Guardians all playoffs, hit a walk-off home run. So that put them up. They won that.
10th inning.
Yeah, it was at that time it was 2-1. The Yankees were leading the series.
Yeah.
But then we keep going on. The Dodgers Mets Game 4. Dodgers blew them out again, 10-2. Shohei led off with a home run on second pitch of the game, and after that it was pretty much over.
Yeah, that was their game from the get.
Yeah.
It looked like their pitching was kind of just dominant the whole time. I'm pretty sure that was a bullpen game.
Yeah, it was. And that put them up 3-1 in the series.
Yeah.
And then we move on to Friday where they play Game 5. The Mets actually won that one 12-6. Jack Flaherty pitched that game, so curious to see. That was his last start, and it didn't go very well for him. So we'll see how he does.
I think he comes back hot.
Yeah,
I think he
Friday.
comes back. Yeah.
So you picked the Dodgers to win it?
I picked the Yankees.
Oh, the Yankees. Okay.
Yeah.
Game 7.
In Game 7.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
But Garrett Cole, Garrett Cole's Garrett Cole.
Garrett Cole's good.
He was amazing in Houston in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think he's going to be like that in New York.
Yeah, and we saw in this game, this was Game 5, we saw Pete Alonso hit a 3-run home run in the first inning. He was actually really good all playoffs for them. He also is a free agent coming into this offseason, so a lot of question marks around him. I am pushing for the San Francisco Giants to go out and sign him. They've been trying to sign a big-name free agent for the last few years. Almost got Aaron Judge, almost got Carlos Correa. Didn't get either one of those guys, though, and I think Pete Alonso could, propel this Giants team to maybe being in the playoffs again.
I think a lot of people are going to be going after him, but
yeah, definitely.
I feel like he's going to stay with the Mets.
I could see that, too.
I think the Mets aren't going to let go of him, especially with this, playoff play that he has. It's pretty nuts.
Yeah, for sure. And then also we saw the Yankees and the Guardians in Game 4. Yankees won this one 8-6. Gleyber Torres, man, I got to put some respect on his name. He leads off pretty much every game getting on base.
Swinging the bat.
Swinging
every
the
time.
bat, and he's hitting a single or a double. He's not really getting a lot of power these days, which used to be his calling card, was kind of more of a power hitter. But now
He's adjusting.
Yeah, he's a leadoff hitter, and he is getting on base almost every time. Every game the Yankees have had, he's been on base to start the game.
That's all you need, especially with those power hitters right behind them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why they have so many RBIs.
Yeah, and Juan Soto came up right after him and hit a 2-run home run, put him up 2-0, and the Yankees came away with the 8-6 win in this one. We saw Giancarlo Stanton again with a 3-run home run off one of the best relievers in baseball, Cade Smith. This was really his first bad outing of his career. That's what the announcers were saying, the Guardians announcers. Cade Smith was dominant all year, dominant all playoffs. And then he comes in with to face Giancarlo with a couple runners on, and Giancarlo took him deep.
Everybody has their time.
Yeah.
That's what it is in baseball. It's a game of inches like that. So
yeah, for sure. And the Guardians still went with Clase A in this one, even after giving it up the day before. And then he gave it up again, man. He gave it up again. They walking guys, giving up hits. It just didn't go well.
Very Class B.
Yeah, very Class B of them. But the Yankees didn't follow that trend. They did not put their closer in, who gave it up the day before, to give the Guardians a walk-off. They didn't go to their star closer, Luke Weaver, who they gave him the night off. They put him in the next night, and he closed it out. So he's looking back to normal.
Yeah, he's one of their best pitchers in the bullpen for sure.
But I think that's a good move by the Yankees manager. Not after the day after giving up the walk-off and all that, you don't put him in again. And that's what Stephen Vogt did. He trusted his guy, Class A, and he was Class B out there. He was not who he was all regular season.
Nope.
He was even in the Cy Young talks as a closer, which we've never seen, which is crazy. He was that good in the regular season.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, he was that good. And in the playoffs, he just completely, against this Yankees team, the switch flipped. Yankees completely figured him out, and that was really the deciding part in the series.
Yeah. Part of me, I mean, I was denying it the whole time, but I feel like the Yankees kind of had this in the bag going into the season.
Yeah.
Like they wanted to make it just for, I mean, the city of New York, first of all. Everybody's just like, oh, Yankees are the greatest baseball team of all time.
Yeah.
They haven't been in the World Series in how many years?
2009.
Exactly.
Yeah, they won it in 2009 against the Phillies.
I mean, there you go. So it's their time to get back in it.
Yeah.
Especially with how big of a market they are.
You remember who was on that 2009 team?
Jeter,
A-Rod, Robinson Cano.
Why am I blanking the pitcher?
I want to say Mark.
Rivera.
Yeah, I want to say Mark Teixeira.
Mark Teixeira's probably on there.
My boy.
Was Ellsbury on the team as well, or was that before?
Maybe that was.
No, that was closer in the early 2000s.
They had Brett Gardner for sure.
Brett Gardner.
But yeah, the Yankees team back then was a stud team.
Yeah,
Jorge Posada, if you remember him,
gosh.
the catcher, man, he was a stud too.
Names.
Yeah, these names are crazy. But yeah, so then moving on to Game 5, where the Yankees ended up closing it out. They won 5-2. They had Carlos Rondon on the mound against Tanner Bybee for some top pitchers going at it.
Rondon's gonna blow the Dodgers out. I'm sorry. When he comes to pitch against them, the Dodgers aren't gonna hit him.
He's had a very up and down year. Some nights he's locked in and looks like that Giants version where he was an all-star.
This playoffs though, I don't know. He's looking kind of unbeatable. I think.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be my hot take when we come in next week.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that after he pitches.
Yeah. And in this game we saw Giancarlo Stanton again coming up big with a 2-run homer. And that was a big storyline in this one. Luke Weaver came in after getting that day off, went 1-2-3 in the 9th to get it into extras. And then Juan Soto hit that 3-run.
Juan Soto.
3-run home run in the 10th inning after such a long at-bat, and that's something that he is so good at, working those counts. He always is up in the league in walks every year. And, he had 2 strikes on him for a long time, kept fouling pitches off, taking tough pitches. And then he finally got that high fastball in the zone and turned on it straightaway center field. And that was, I was really sad when he hit that, though, because you knew it was gone right when he hit it.
Oh, yeah.
But Stanton ended up coming away with the ALCS MVP.
Deserved.
4 home runs, 7 RBIs for him with a great average. So shout out to Giancarlo, man. He's been in the league for a long time.
He deserves this for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
I mean, I liked him in Miami, but they weren't going to do anything with him.
You remember his name in Miami? Because
Uh,
he didn't come into the league as Giancarlo Stanton. He came into the league. His name was Mike Stanton.
really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And then I think he went back to his like original name or something like that,
Yeah.
Giancarlo. And I just remember Mike Stanton as a rookie, and that was a long time ago. That was probably
Sounds like a different person.
it does. But he was still that same hitter, man. He was a power hitter out there, huge guy. He's gonna
a
look
monster.
to go yard every at bat,
Yeah.
no matter what the situation is.
No,
And
he's swinging he's swinging that just to leave the fence.
yeah, for sure. And then final game that we saw before our World Series preview was Game 6 of the Mets and Dodgers. This was a good one. Dodgers won at 10-5. Our guy Sean Manaea was on the mound for the Mets.
That was a rough one to watch. I thought he was gonna close it out and get into Game 7, but no, yeah, that was I mean, off the bat they kind of took control of it. I mean, that was the first lead the Mets had the whole series. The whole series, I think, or not the lead. The first lead change happened after the Mets scored, and then the Dodgers took the lead in the next inning.
Yeah,
that was the first lead change to happen the whole series.
Wow. So yeah, the Dodgers win with the bullpen game in this one. They started Michael Kopech, who led off the game with a walk, wild pitch, and then they scored a run off an infield hit. So that put them up 1-0. But then the Dodgers came right back off Manaea, leadoff single, then a single, and then Tommy Edman was the story of this game.
That was oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Tommy's he's a breakout player for sure.
Yeah, and he's their 4-hitter right now, and he's a small dude. You know, that's really the talk on his name is he's not your typical 4-hitter. But he had a hell of a game. He had a double, a 2-run double to put the Dodgers up 2-1, and then in the third inning he hit a 2-run homer to put him up 4-1, and that was really it for the Mets in this one. The final score was 10-5. But yeah, Tommy Edman.
I wonder how St. Louis fans are feeling right now.
Yeah.
I mean, because he had an okay 3 years in St. Louis, nothing too crazy, but now he's coming into L.A. and bringing him to the World Series down here.
Yeah, for sure. So Tommy Edman hit .407 in this series with 11 RBIs. He is the NLCS MVP. Hitting in that fourth spot, you know, he's about 5'9", little guy, but he still can go yard. He gets on base as well.
You'd expect him to be like a 1 or 2 hitter,
like
with his speed and his height, but that's not the case.
It's crazy where the game of baseball is today because they have guys like Shohei Ohtani hitting leadoff. And then they have guys like Tommy Edman hitting in the fourth spot. And it used to be completely flipped.
And then you have Mookie Betts somewhere in between
there.
Yeah,
like 2 or 3. It's pretty wild. But that just shows how stacked of a lineup the Dodgers really have.
Yep. That's what you get when you pay $1 billion for a lineup.
And the Yankees also have this stacked lineup as well. So I think this series will see a lot of offense. Pitchers might be in for a long series in this one.
Yeah, that's going to be this deciding factor is if I don't see the Dodgers bullpen doing it.
Yeah.
I see the bats need to stay hot and stay alive and score a lot of runs.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the Yankees bullpen actually has some depth to it, so they could actually use a whole rotation for the whole series.
Yeah.
Versus the Dodgers, they're going to have to throw in a couple of bullpen games there, like the whole series.
Yeah.
They might have 1 or 2, like they're going to have 3 games because, I mean, they got Flaherty, Buehler, and Yamamoto. That's it.
And then the bullpen.
Yeah. But then, I mean, the Yankees have a full rotation over there, so that's going to be the deciding factor is if the bats stay hot for the Dodgers and the Yankees bullpen stays hot because the Yankees bats haven't been they did score runs against the Guardians, but not as much as the Dodgers are scoring right now.
Yeah, that's true. And before the playoffs started, you know, got a shout out my boy from work, Christian. He's a big Dodger fan, and he said that if the Dodgers are going to go anywhere in this playoffs, because I was saying that the Dodgers were going to lose first round. I was on him about that. I was like, man, the Dodgers ain't on this. And he was telling me if the Dodgers are going to win, that it's going to have to be with the bats. And I got to give him a shout out. He was completely right because this pitching staff is not what we thought it would be.
Yep.
But you know who's been lights out for them? One of their best pitchers is Blake Trinan.
Yeah,
Blake Trinan.
When I saw him come in at the beginning of the playoffs, I was like, what? He's still playing? Like, I didn't realize he was still on the team.
But he's one of the best closers in baseball still.
And he's still, like, he's aging like fine wine, man.
Yeah.
He's looking good.
They always put him in like the 8th inning as well, and he gets more than 3-out saves. Like, he'll get a 5-out save. He'll get a 4-out save.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been lights out all playoffs. I don't think he's allowed to run all playoffs. So Blake Trinan is on one in this playoffs.
There you go.
You know, we saw that a lot in his days in Oakland. So But then he fell off.
Those were the good days in Oakland, man.
Yeah, Blake Trinan. So, yeah, World Series, Yankees, Dodgers, Friday. Starts at 5 o'clock. So we're excited for that one.
World Series baseball, baby.
Yes.
Hopefully it turns into November baseball.
Yeah, love to see that.
Oh, yeah, it's got to now with the whole schedule. It's going to be November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mr. November.
Yep.
Wasn't that Reggie Jackson?
There's a lot of people who won Mr. Like Derek Jeter was
Derek
also
Jeter,
known. Yeah,
that's what it was.
He was Mr. November.
Yeah. That's a cool name. It's a cool name. That means you're doing stuff in the late games in the World Series.
Yeah, I think he got that when he walked off against the Red Sox, I believe.
Yeah, something.
And it was like midnight going into November.
Crazy.
Yeah,
crazy. Shout out to Derek Jeter, man. He's on that post game panel. You know, the MLB's kind of trying to.
That whole post game panel is pretty tight.
Pretty cool.
David Ortiz, A-Rod, Derek Jeter, and
Matt Vasgersian.
Yeah,
who he's the MLB The Show announcer.
Yep.
We've heard his name a lot over the years. He's an iconic announcer. So
that's a legendary board.
It really is. Yeah, and they're kind of taking the formula from the NBA with their NBA on TNT show.
Exactly.
You know, Jeter and A-Rod both played for the Yankees, and then David Ortiz, Big Papi, on the Red Sox.
There you go.
It's really cool to see
it's like a little
the
rivalry
back and forth
kind of thing.
Yeah. And then when they were interviewing guys after the Dodgers clinched, like Mookie Betts came up and sat with them on the thing, and Tommy Edman as well. It was really cool.
There
was
one I saw where it was like O'Neal Cruz, and he was like introducing himself to Derek. He's like, I love you. Like, I love watching you.
Yeah. That's pretty awesome. I like O'Neal Cruz too. He's going to be a stud. So yeah, that was some MLB World Series talk. I think we should close out the show, previewing tomorrow night.
Oh yeah.
Big night for Sacramento. I am stressed out, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm nervous.
It's going to be a tough night to sleep. Feels like I'm waking up for Christmas morning tomorrow. Some Kings basketball is back in Sacramento.
Hopefully the beam will be calling us tomorrow.
We need it.
Yeah.
It's been too long without it.
Yeah.
But we got to give Golden One Center a little time.
Out.
Yeah. Ranked the best, number one ranked stadium in all the NBA.
All the NBA. It was ranked top 5 in all 4 like categories of ranking an arena.
Yeah.
So the food, obviously, farm to fork capital. So we got the freshest food right there in the middle of downtown. It's perfect. But the atmosphere every time you go in there.
Yeah.
All the players probably feel the love no matter what. No matter what, everybody's cheering at the top of their lungs.
Yeah, I think it was really cool that they even put like a reason for them having the best, atmosphere stadium is because of the beam.
Yeah.
And it's pretty awesome to see that really put Golden One Center as number 1 on the NBA stadiums rankings.
For sure.
And that's pretty awesome to see.
Everybody's excited to see it at the time. Like it brought back the whole, not that the Sacramento Kings culture disappeared, but it revitalized it and brought it back up.
It really did. It really did. And I hope we see an all-star game here in Sacramento.
Hopefully soon.
Eventually.
We have to get the numbers, I guess, and hotel, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I think the NBA is just like small market arena team. I don't know.
Yeah.
We don't need to go there. But they just gave it to Indiana.
Exactly, yeah. But now, with them being ranked number 1, I think they're definitely looking into it.
Hopefully they're looking for it.
But the All-Star game is in San Francisco this year in the Warriors' new stadium. We will definitely be around the area for that one.
I think we will be traveling, hopefully getting some interviews with some people who know.
We're super excited for that.
Yeah.
Got a lot of big stuff coming this NBA season.
Yeah.
Super excited it's already back. But we got to get into some stuff.
So tomorrow, starting lineup.
Yeah, starting lineup for the Kings.
De'Aaron Fox, Keon Ellis, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, and Domantas Sabonis.
Of course.
With Malik Monk coming off for 6 men.
Trey Lyles and Kevin Hurt are also guys that should come off the bench. I think they should run an 8-man rotation.
Is Trey Lyles going to be playing?
Pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm not 100%, but I think Trey Lyles will be healthy tomorrow. They just sat him in the preseason just because, they don't want him, get him hurt before the season starts.
Yeah.
But I think that if they run that 8-man rotation, maybe even a 9 playing Alex Len some minutes, he's always been pretty solid when he comes in.
Definitely.
If we need backup center minutes.
We'll need his defensive versatility for sure.
True.
We don't have that height on the bench really.
And Minnesota is a big team.
Yeah.
So they might actually have to go to Alex Len more than we think. But previewing, I am curious to see who they will put on Anthony Edwards. Because we saw yesterday with the Timberwolves offense, it does not look good unless Anthony Edwards is creating for himself and hitting a tough step back three,
I
getting to the
think,
basket.
Keegan and Keon will be switching
I
back
think
and
we
forth.
need to put Keegan on him.
Keegan will probably be on him mostly.
Because Keon is a great defender, of course. I think if they get in the pick and roll and they have to switch those screens, I'm fine with Keon being on him. But I think we need to put Keegan on Anthony Edwards because we know how strong Anthony Edwards is. Keon is not that strong of a defender yet. He's great on the perimeter.
That's true.
But if
He doesn't have that
Anthony Edwards,
muscle.
if Anthony Edwards starts going downhill on him, he might get shouldered into, and it might be an easy layup. So
That's true.
I think if we put Keegan on Anthony Edwards tomorrow night, it might be a recipe
he
for
was
success.
locking him down the whole those first 2 preseason games.
Yeah.
Keegan was locking down Curry.
Yeah, true.
But that's a nerve-wracking matchup right there.
Yeah.
Actually.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I actually just read something. Mike Brown said on Kevin Herter, if he plays, he probably starts, but we've got to get the green light.
What?
That's what Mike Brown said.
Are you kidding me?
October 22nd, 1:43 p.m.
So yesterday, Mike Brown said that Kevin Herter could be starting.
Kevin Herter potentially will be starting.
Wow, that catches me off by a big surprise because
Yeah.
I think he's the third string, guy in that shooting guard rotation. I think it's Keon and
I feel
Malik
like it
definitely.
should be. Yeah, that's gonna be weird.
That is.
That makes me more nervous too.
Yeah, because that definitely puts our defense in the starting lineup way
down.
way worse than it would be if we have Keon in there.
Even with how bad it is already. But
Yeah, I think we need De'Aaron. We talked about it with Deuce and Mo last week when we had him on. We need De'Aaron. He had a great year defensively last year. He led the league in steals. He was very active. But we need him to make one of those all-defensive teams.
Trey Lyles is cleared for tomorrow as well.
Awesome.
But yeah, no, that's
Yeah.
oof.
I could see Trey Lyles playing a lot of center tomorrow with if they have Rudy
Yes.
Gobert in.
Yeah.
They want to get him out on the perimeter.
Trey will probably be on Rudy or Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Both of them, maybe.
And we need to make sure Julius Randle doesn't get in a rhythm.
No.
We need to make sure he's. I think. Now it's tough because if we put Keegan on Anthony Edwards, then who are we putting on Julius Randle? I don't know if DeMar DeRozan is a good fit for that matchup because Sabonis is going to be on Gobert, obviously. Maybe we have to.
We're gonna have to score 132 points tomorrow.
I think we will. I think our offense is going to look good. I think DeMar is super hyped to hopefully light that beam tomorrow.
Hopefully,
I think
it's gonna be a shootout at Golden One Center tomorrow.
Yeah. Hopefully DiVincenzo doesn't get hot too, because if he gets going, and I'll be surprised if they play Rob Dillingham tomorrow.
Is there a reason why he didn't play? Did you see anything?
Coach Finch just doesn't trust him to be in that real rotation yet, which is kind of crazy to see. He had a very good preseason. He dropped 20 points multiple times. But towards the end of the preseason, he was falling out of the rotation. And then yesterday we saw he's out of the rotation completely. And Mike Conley, also yesterday for the Timberwolves, really struggled. He didn't hit a 3-pointer, which is his go-to. And
he looked off. I mean, he's at the end of his career. Really, he's gonna have to find a new way to kind of fill in for that team, I think.
Yeah,
and then or bring in Rob Dillingham for that.
I know. I think Rob Dillingham would definitely solve a lot of their problems because they don't have a lot of creation besides Anthony Edwards. But yeah, I'm really nervous to see this Kings team tomorrow. We have very high hopes of them.
Yep.
Some people project them to be top 4 in the West. Some people project them to be bottom from 8 to 12.
Are you off tomorrow?
Yeah.
Let's we got to get together and watch the game.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to watch this together.
Yes. All right. Well, we will hopefully be lighting the beam tomorrow here in Sacramento.
Hopefully, we all light it together.
Yeah.
Who lights it tomorrow if we win? DeMar? DeMar, for sure.
Even if he has
Not
5
even a
points.
question.
Yeah.
It's going to be big DeMar night if we win.
I think De'Aaron needs to drop 30.
De'Aaron has to drop at least 25 to 30.
I want 30.
DeMontis needs a double-double.
I want De'Aaron to start putting more notice on his name. He's better than these guys like John Morant, than Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm going to say it. He's better than Shai. He's better than Shai.
Damn.
I'm saying it. I know that's not a good take after last year and Shai almost winning MVP.
Whoa.
I think every time they match up, I always say this, De'Aaron wins that matchup. And I think he just doesn't get the love. I don't know why OKC gets so much love. I mean, they were top team in the West last year, but the Kings just don't get that same love. And I think this year De'Aaron's going to put some more notice on his name.
Take of the week right there.
Yeah, let's go.
I love
Fox
it.
over everyone.
Fox over everyone.
Except Curry.
Nah, Fox is better.
Okay.
Thank you, Sacramento.
All right. Beam City Sports 96.5. Tyler Texeira, Luke Mitchell.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.